All right. Welcome to
Shopify
our
helps you sell at every stage of your business.
Chantel's
Like
still
that,
showing
let's
up.
put it online and
Also. I love it. All right. Welcome to our webinar tonight. So excited that you're here. We are pretty excited to be sharing a little bit about the importance of protein for women. And you don't have to be, listen, if you are a guy or whoever you are, we're glad that you're here. So, but we are going to do a Ninja Creamy demo, healthy ice cream recipes, tips on protein, all of the amazingness. So I'm going to kick it over to Chantel Flake to get us going tonight. Take it away, Shan.
Hey, you guys. So glad to be here. This is like so fun during the summertime. I don't know about you guys, but I've been at the water park all day long. And I came home and I'm like, all I want is my Ninja Creamy ice cream. And it's the perfect summertime thing, especially like for this protein. So we're going to tell you all about that later, but let's just kick it off. I just would love to tell you a little bit about why we're kind of doing this tonight. I'm going to be telling my story, but along with Amber and Corinne, you'll hear different stories. But I have been in this community for about 13 years in this health community, and I have absolutely loved it. This is kind of the reason why I've been interested in making healthier swaps. You know, just being around healthy people, encourages me to find better ways to be healthy. So I just put a couple pictures up of myself and my family. I have 6 children, ranging all the way from 18 to 6 months. And I was just thinking about this today as I was headed to the water park. I thought, you know, this is the reason why I do this, is because for me, health is about having the energy and having the stamina to be able to be a mother to these kids and to be a wife and to do all the things I want to do. I don't want to just be that mom that just lays there, you know, popping in some kind of movie and be like, well, this is what we're going to do today, you know, for the summertime. I want to be at the water park. I want to be out running, biking, hiking with my kids. And so this is really my why behind this. So maybe some of you guys can relate to that. And maybe that's why you're here tonight, is just bettering your health, maybe learning a little bit about protein so that you can just do a little bit better. But that's really my why behind this. So let's get started on some science. Would you guys be okay with this? Where we talked about just why we fuel our bodies. If I have to, over the 13 years I've been a coach, I would say this is probably the most common question I get from clients or just friends that find out that I'm a health coach. They say, what do you eat? What are your biggest tips? But like, how do you fuel your body? Right? We all know that there are so many more habits of health, like sleep, stress, movement, all these things. But what we put into our body really, really does matter. When I first learned about this program, I put this to the test. And I was an avid 3 meals a day person. I want you to put in the chat if you were raised this way. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, that's what you do. And you eat everything on your plate and you don't snack in between. Like the kitchen is closed in between dinner, right? Is that the way you guys were raised? Okay, it wasn't just me. I think it was just a generational thing, right? And so what we found, I did that like probably right up until I found about Optavia and I learned about these studies. So I want to tell you about this study. They actually took 2 groups of people. These 2 groups of people, they ate the same number of calories. They even ate the same exact foods. Okay, it wasn't anything different. They were all the same variables there. The only difference they did with these 2 different groups is one group ate 3 times a day, the other group ate 6. Okay. Now on the right side of the screen, these are mentioning some of the benefits of what happened with the people that ate 6 small meals, the same thing. You guys, they lost more weight, they were less hungry, and even inside their body, like blood tests showed that these people reduced their cholesterol by 15% and also their blood insulin. just from changing the timing of when you eat. So in our program, we teach eating 6 small meals. I made that simple switch from 3 to 6, and within a week, I noticed a huge difference. With these 6 small meals, I protein carb balance. And that's something that the person who invited can teach you more about using the fuelings, even protein carb balancing these. We have lots of lists of these. We can share those with you if you need some starters. I mean, the creamy ice cream is a great example of a protein carb balance meal. And when you think meal, it doesn't have to be like a huge meal. We're talking like even smaller snacks. Okay. So this is a huge thing that I learned as a coach that made a big difference in my own life. And if I had to just teach one thing, this would probably be it to start with, to start noticing some changes in your energy and your cravings and just how you feel in general. And as I was headed to the water park today, like I was explaining, I thought about that. I thought, it was about 1 p.m. And normally at about 1 p.m., before I learned about this, I was ready to take a nap and I was ready for some chocolate when I woke up. And you guys, you know what? After 13 years of living these healthy habits, and I was headed to the water park today and I felt amazing just at 1 p.m. And I was able to stay there the entire time and I felt so much energy. So you guys, it's not just about losing weight. It's about how you feel and having that energy. Would you guys agree? Do you want more energy? I think that's like a universal desire where we want to maximize that energy. So I want to throw it over to Corinne. She's going to tell us a little bit more. And I'm actually going to go in my kitchen. We're going to have some fun tonight. I'm going to go in my kitchen and we're going to do a little demo. So I'll meet you over in the kitchen in just a minute.
You guys, our dreams are come true doing our own cooking show tonight. We're so excited. Okay, so just a little bit about me. So I came into Optavia a decade ago. I just hit my decade anniversary. I don't know if that's a word or not, but I'm calling it one. So I had some baby weight that I wanted to lose after baby number 5. And you guys, I came into this not knowing anything about nutrition. Like I really didn't know anything, you guys. It's kind of embarrassing actually. And I think I lived on like Hershey Kisses in the afternoon and then like Shasta soda or something like that. Like that's how crazy it is. But I was eager to learn a lot more because I'd had 5 kids at that point and I wanted to learn how to feed them and how to feed myself. So that way this phrase that comes to mind all the time is eat to live, don't live to eat. And so for some reason that has always been in the back of my mind for longer than a decade, that was something that I wanted to accomplish myself. And I just didn't know how to do it. And so I felt like this program really has given me the tools over the last decade because I have been willing to learn more about nutrition to be able to have that eat to live, don't live to eat. And I probably make people around me mad because like they'll ask me where I want to eat and I'm like, anywhere there's a good salad. Like I really don't care or get super excited. And food is fun still, it's not that it's super boring, no. But I just have this whole new outlook when it comes to eating. And what's been fun is that I've had 2 kids since then. So you can see the 7 kids in that picture right there. And I am also learning how to feed them and how to teach them these healthy habits, like the ones that Chantel was just talking about, eating every 2 to 3 hours, protein and carb balancing, things like that. And to be able to teach them how to eat. And, they're all athletes actually. And so I feel like that is even more important to be able to keep up with the energy that they are needing right now. So that's just a little bit about my background and it's been super fun. So while Chantel is getting situated in the kitchen, it would be super fun, you guys. Put a 1 in the chat if you own a Ninja Creami. Let's see how many people actually have one of their own. And maybe not even just a Ninja Creami, but if you have like an ice cream maker of some kind, maybe. Just got it for a birthday present for yourself. What a good birthday present. I know I asked for it for Mother's Day this last year. And I don't normally do presents for Mother's Day. So fun. Love it. Love it. Okay. Let's, Chantel looks like she's ready to go in the kitchen. So we're going to turn the time over to Chantel for a second to introduce where she's at right now.
Chantel's
All
gonna.
right, we're in the
There you go.
kitchen. You're right, Corinne. It's a dream to do a cooking show, but I think this is even better because no cooking, just blending and freezing. So let's get going. I'm going to demo how to make this. Sounds like many of you have a Ninja Creami maker. I want to show you mine right here. Just to kind of start off, I know a common question is, which one do I buy? Because there's a deluxe and a normal. This one is actually just a normal one. And I've noticed that it blends just as well from what we can tell. I know Corinne and Amber, you guys both have the deluxe one. The only difference is just the jar inside is just a little bit bigger. So if you want like kind of a bigger serving, maybe a bigger family or something like that, feel free to do that. But I actually just like my single serve. So, all right, let's come over here. My husband is filming. Say hi, Tyler.
The looks behind the camera.
So, all right, let's get started. We're gonna drop the recipes into the chat that you guys can see. We made a list of our very most favorites. So enjoy these. You guys, this just use this as a reference because you really can't mess this up unless you start adding some really crazy blends or flavors together. But as long as it tastes, you think to put them together, the amounts and all that are very flexible in this. So don't worry too much about measuring precisely, but we try to make some good recipes for you guys, what we like. So my favorite that I make, and Tyler, you can vouch, my husband can vouch for on this one as well, triple chocolate fudge ice cream. Okay, like it kind of blows my mind. It still blows my mind that this is healthy, but totally healthy. This has about 35 grams of protein in it. Okay, so the very first ingredient on the list, if you guys pull it up, is Fairlife milk. I like this taste the most probably because of the protein content. So it's milk, but protein milk. So you can see down here, we're talking 13 grams of protein per serving here. What I like to do, here are the jars. You can mix one serving right in here and just whisk it together and freeze this. But I kind of like doing it in the blender and 4 timesing the recipe here, then pouring them in and then freezing them. It just kind of saves a little time, so I'm not pulling out each of the ingredients each time I want to make a new creamy. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to do 4 times the recipe right here in the blender. So I'm going to pour 4 cups. So it's a cup per serving per pint jar. 4 cups of the Fairlife milk. And then your protein powder. This is just another way to add more protein. I really like the Optavia Active Whey Protein. You can also use just a regular Optavia Fueling. It really matters the quality of your protein. My brother-in-law came over the other day and he my sister-in-law had made a creamy that she had made, and she had made the exact same recipe, but she had just swapped out a different protein. I think it was like from Walmart or Costco. And my brother-in-law came, he said, "Why is your creamy so much better?" Don't tell her, but why is it so much better? And you know what, I asked her what she put in. You guys, the only difference was the protein powder.
And so don't use expired protein either.
Don't use expired. I've actually done that once. That doesn't taste good. So make sure and get that quality protein. Okay, so this is 4 scoops of the protein. Stevia. This is my no calorie sweetener of choice, but totally, you do you, whatever you like on that. This is 2 teaspoons, so a total of 8 teaspoons. Cottage cheese, you guys. This is like a magical food. I'm having so much fun with cottage cheese, like adding this in a lot of things. This is a 1/4 cup per pint, so a total of 1 cup. Just another way to up that protein count. Cocoa powder, there's a total 2 teaspoons, so a total of 8 teaspoons. If you like it more dark, I love super dark chocolate. Super. One time, what did I buy the other day? Cocoa powder, like 95% cacao. So if you like it more, you can add more, or like it less, whatever. But this I would say medium. This is pretty mild. And then don't forget your pudding mix. I actually just found out that I ran out of chocolate, so I subbed it for some vanilla. It won't matter too much because of the cocoa. It all just kind of blends together and it's going to make it into chocolate. Again, I promise you're not going to mess it up. So just dump that in. Okay. Then you can blend it up, or for time's sake, I'm just going to kind of whisk this up however you want. Like I said, this is going to make a total of 4. Another little tip for you is to buy more jars. I think the creamy maker only comes with 2. You're going to want more. So get on Amazon, just order, another pack of 4. I probably have like 16 around here. I have a creamy shelf in there in my freezer that I make all for my creamies. And I don't know if you can see this, but there is, on the pint jar, there is a little line right here, and it's called a fill line. So you're going to want to pour it all the way up. They say to get best results, you're going to pour it right to that fill line. And then this is what you freeze, just like this. You can they come with these little lids. You can put the lid on it. You can just keep it like this. And this is what you freeze in your freezer.
Totally clean freezer.
For 24 hours, okay? I'm gonna swap it out because this has been freezing for 24 hours. So let me show you the next step with this. So once it's frozen, this is just kind of a pro tip. I got a Ninja Creami for Christmas, and I've been working on little tips to make it a little bit easier and make the best consistency. And this one I found out a couple months in and made all the difference. So when you pull it out of the freezer, what you want to do, just want to turn it upside down, turn your water on as hot as you can. And you're just going to run this right under the water. You can even, a couple of things you can do with this is you can keep it out on the counter for 2 minutes. You can even put it in a bowl with a little bit of hot water. Whatever you need, you'll kind of see the edges kind of peel off. And what this does, it just makes it a little bit faster to blend, and it makes it so it's not so icy on the sides. Okay, so once you've done this, usually I probably keep it in for another 20 seconds or something. Okay, come on over here.
I really hope Creamy starts paying us. Ninja starts paying us. You sell a lot of them.
Oh, it's just, how can you not? How can you not get these? These are awesome. Okay, so you take this, you guys, you take this little container. It has some ridges on the bottom. You're gonna pop it into the little ridges. You're gonna take the top, screw it in just like that. Pop that in, and you're gonna twist. This took me a minute before. Okay, make sure it's plugged in, turn it on. And you have lots of options. I think if you have the deluxe, you have quite a few more options. I haven't really noticed a difference in too many of the settings, so I just do light ice cream. I think it does it for a little bit longer. So I'm gonna press this. So while this is blending, this is gonna take about 2 to 3 minutes. I'm gonna have Corinne and Amber pop it back over to you guys, and then I'll meet you back when this is all blended.
I love the commentary from Tyler in there too. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about protein, you guys. So what I have found over the decade that I have been coaching, as I've been learning more about nutrition, is that I feel like some of these nutritional macros, I can't think of what the word is. There's kind of a stereotype about them. Have you guys ever noticed that? So like when you think of carbs, sometimes I think of like, oh, those are good carbs or those are bad carbs or something like that. And then when I think of protein, as I've talked to multiple clients, actually, I found that there was a lot of fear around protein. And I thought that was so interesting. And I was curious as to why that is. And it was a lot of women, honestly, that they were just like, oh, I just don't want to get bulky, or, I just don't want to eat meat all day. There was just a lot of fear around protein. And I feel like it was also because they just didn't understand. So why do we need protein? That's the question, right? Why do we need protein? So we need protein because as we get older, you guys, about the time that we hit 30 years old, we actually naturally start the aging process. Did you guys know that? Once you hit 30 years old, your body naturally starts to age. And what that looks like is you actually start losing muscle mass. So it's about, you can see on the screen, it says about 3 to 8% of muscle mass per decade after you turn 30. And this is just natural. This is just what happens, right? So from ages 40 to 80, you're losing muscle mass of roughly 30 to 50%. So have you guys ever noticed that as you guys are getting older, and I'm 38, almost 39, and you start to feel a little different. And the thing that I hear most commonly is my metabolism is just slowing down. That's why things are changing, is my metabolism is just slowing down. And guess what? That's right. Your metabolism is slowing down, but that is also because your muscle mass is decreasing, right? This kind of blew my mind, you guys. So how much protein do you need to have? So it is roughly, you guys, roughly 1 gram of protein per pound of lean body mass. Now, that is not the number on your scale in your bathroom at home, okay? Because that will include body fat, right? So it's 1 gram of protein per pound of lean body mass. So an equation for that is you take the pounds that you weigh. So like the one on the screen, it says 135 pounds, and you times that by the percentage of body fat. So it says, so say this person is 135 pounds and they have 18% body fat. So that equals about 24 pounds of fat. And when you do that equation, it comes out to be 111 grams of protein. So that would be how much you need to get on a daily basis for your particular body. Does that make sense? If you have questions about this, please just start putting them in the chat. But protein is so important, and I don't want people to be afraid of protein because it is so helpful for you. So remember, 1 gram of protein per pound of lean muscle mass. So I'm going to turn the time back over to Shan really fast. She looks like she's ready to show us a little bit more of the creamy.
All right. Okay, I want to show you what this looks like because we're not done yet. So this is the process. All right, so you're going to press this little, do you want to zoom in on this a little bit? You're going to press this button down here, and then also, and it kind of swivels this way, and then press this lid button to open it. Okay, I want you to look at that consistency and just know that this is normal for this first spin to look like this. If you kind of like your ice cream harder, then you're probably gonna do less spins. I really like kind of a softer, fluffier, creamier. Maybe that's where the name came from. So, but this is what I like to do after the first spin. I take a knife and I just kind of scrape the sides like this. And then I even kind of get down at the bottom because sometimes it just gets icy on the sides. The longer you let it sit out, the longer you kind of run it, it's going to be less, but don't be afraid to scrape it a little bit. If not, then you'll just kind of have a layer that you don't eat on the sides. So these, like I said, these are just all pro tips. And by the way, I did reach out to Creamy and asked them if they would give you guys a giveaway, like so that we could give away Creamy. They said no, but you guys, I tried. Sorry. They said that they don't do giveaways. All right, so I have this. I'm gonna put it right back in just like I did before. And then I'm gonna run it again. And I might even run it a third time. I'm gonna open it up, see what it looks like again, and then run it a third time. But this time, the second and third time, I pop it back into place. I'm gonna use this button, respin versus the light ice cream. So I'm gonna do that. I'll be right back.
Man, we appreciate your efforts, Shan, trying to get us free creamies to give away. So, okay. So you guys, this may be for you, it may be for somebody that you know or someone that you're going to know in the future. So if you are using one of the weight loss drugs, so as coaches, we're not here to tell you what's right or what's wrong or whether you should or you shouldn't or anything like that. We're just here to support you. So what we want to make sure that you know, or the people that you love know, that if you are using one of these weight loss drugs, now is the time to be diligent in protecting that lean muscle mass, because what happens is out of that total weight loss, people are losing muscle mass. Okay, 20 to 50% of total weight loss is actually muscle loss from these different medications. And so as you're losing the weight from these drugs, we want to make sure that you are getting adequate nutrition and being able to retain the muscle, because that is critical for protecting your muscle and for your metabolism and the aging process, just like we were just barely talking about. So please make sure that you're being diligent about protecting that lean muscle. So, okay, so different ways. One of the things that I remember hearing from women is that they don't want to just eat meat all day, right? Who just wants to sit and eat chicken all day? I don't know. So on your screen, you can see some different options on ways to get protein in. Okay, so we have like eggs, Greek yogurt. That's one of my favorites, you guys, Greek yogurt. I like to have plain Greek yogurt and then I add stuff to it. String cheeses, nuts, nut butter, PB2, hummus, beans, Laughing Cow cheese, cottage cheese. My mom was just in town the other night actually, and she was like, cottage cheese is the new cauliflower, I swear. And I was like, it totally makes sense. Cottage cheese is the new cauliflower. Do you guys remember when the cauliflower craze happened? It is now cottage cheese. So if you're not using it already, I highly suggest using cottage cheese. So here's some different things you can use to get protein in. Yes, these bottom ones are meat, but meat is not bad for you, right? We need protein. So, and if you guys have some other ideas, just put them in the chat, okay? So what are some other ways that we can get even more protein in? So one of the things that we were thinking is you can hide protein just like you hide vegetables. Have you guys ever done that? One of the things that I like to do is whenever I make like muffins or bread or anything like that, I actually put like vanilla protein powder in it. And so that way people don't even know that it's in it. You can make simple switches. And so sometimes I like to use Greek yogurt instead of sour cream. Another switch that I've done at my house is there's protein pasta that you can get. And, you know, my kids will fight to have the white pasta, you guys, but I don't really care because someone's always gonna whine and complain about what I'm making. It doesn't matter. So I always just am trying to get as much protein in them as possible because carbs are super easy to come by. Another tip is, and if you guys have any other ideas for hiding protein or simple switches that you make at your house, please just put them in the chat so everybody can glean from that. Okay, so double the protein at a restaurant. So meat is the most expensive part of your meal. When you go out to eat, that's going to be where the money is at, right? And because of that, it costs the company that much money too. And so they actually give you smaller portions than what you actually need. So one thing that I've just gotten in the habit of is when I get my salad, I always ask for double the protein. Which is for me, it's usually chicken. So I always ask for double the chicken. Side note, it does cost a couple dollars extra normally. Very seldom do they let you just have that for free, but you guys, it's totally worth it. And then I'm filling up on the good stuff and I feel very satisfied by the time I'm done eating it. Another way to get protein in is the Optavia fuelings. They are amazing, you guys. You get like 15 grams of protein per fueling, and it's roughly only like 100, 110 calories. And so being someone that has worked really hard on getting more protein in, 15 grams of protein in one serving is a lot. And then also using supplements like protein powders, like Chantel was just saying that she likes to do. As I've increased my protein, I can tell you guys that I just feel so much better on a daily basis. I feel like I have more energy. My metabolism is going really well. And just increasing your protein in little ways here and there can really make a big difference. So, Shan, tell us where you're at and give us an update.
Okay, you guys ready for the reveal? I get excited every time I do this.
No, really, she won't shut up about it.
I really won't, because it's always amazing that it can turn from a rock solid thing in the freezer to this amazingness. Okay. Okay, you're gonna have to do a really good zoom in on this one. Okay, you guys, Just look at the texture. Like I feel like this should be in like a slow-mo video.
Oh my goodness.
But okay, let's try it. Let's try it. Who knows how it tastes? And Tyler, you can try it after me. I honestly, I don't even know what to say.
Do you have a
It's
clean
so
spoon? Can I have a separate spoon?
no, you have to use my. What do you think?
Oh, it is like swimming in the Wonka chocolate river. Like I cannot believe it's healthy.
It really is. You guys, 35 grams of protein for our 19th year anniversary last night. They gave us a free cake at the restaurant, you guys. We took it home. I had to make my chocolate ice cream on the side. Both of us preferred my ice cream
We were
over the
annoyed with
chocolate
the cake. Honestly,
We were just like,
annoyed.
we
And
don't
still,
want the cake.
I still ate the thing, but I was annoyed with it.
I focused on the protein ice cream. It was just amazing. So it's that good, you guys.
Oh my gosh, I'm loving this. You guys, who is cracking up right now? I laughed out loud. Wonka Chocolate River. Oh, I love you guys so much. All right. Okay, I'm just going to kick it to myself because I was already talking, but I have dealt with not eating enough protein for a long time in my life. Like how many of you just put a 1 in the chat if you grew up on carbs? Like I was taught in 2nd grade that pizza was a better option for breakfast than oatmeal because it had more food groups. I just still remember that in 2nd grade. It's just hilarious. Yeah, like most people, right, Corinne? And so I actually have always dealt with pain in my body, and I never really quite understood why until I started like using more protein and a specific supplement that I'm going to talk about, amino acids. I started using this. I was actually part of a test group. They were like, "Hey, will you be part of this test group to test these essential amino acids?" And I was like, "I don't know. I don't really believe in supplements. So maybe I'm not the best person for this." And they were like, "Well, it's free. So do you want to do it?" I'm like, "Sure." So I started using these essential amino acids, which is just like broken down protein, basically. And all of a sudden, like, I didn't have as much pain like in my neck and in my lower back, and the achiness in my legs that would happen every single day started getting better. But here's the funny thing. I actually didn't notice the difference fully until I ran out. The study was over, so they stopped sending me the supplement. And I was like, oh no, that was doing a lot of good for me. And all of a sudden, like my pain is back and my achiness. And I actually, with the supplement, I used to be able to only exercise maybe 2 or 3 times a week. That was all my body could handle. And then while I started using this, no joke, I can exercise every day. I can play volleyball or pickleball or work out or lift or go on like long walks, whatever I want to do. And I have never in my life been able to do that before. So it was actually really life-changing for me. So like I said, amino acids, that's just like the building blocks for protein, which is the building blocks for muscle. So this is why it's so important to make sure that we are getting the proper amounts of protein and actually the proper amounts of essential amino acids. So I want to give you guys some fun facts about amino acids. So there are certain amino acids our body makes, but there's a whole bunch of them. They're called essential amino acids. You have to consume them. Our body does not make them. And you can find EAAs or essential amino acids in food or in supplements. And you have to consume around 30 grams of protein within a short amount of time, about a 15-minute window from an EAA rich source in order to create muscle protein synthesis. Okay, so this is my previous slide. If you want what you're eating to turn into muscle in your body, you need at least around 30 grams at once in an EAA rich source to create that muscle protein synthesis. Okay, here's some more fun facts. Okay, Amber, how do you get 30 grams, around 30 grams of protein? Okay, so that's about 4 to 6 ounces of meat. That'll be about 200 to 500 calories. And like Corinne said, what's the most expensive part? If you add double meat, they're going to be like, that's an extra $4. Is that okay? Right? So if $2 would be like a really low quality, chicken and you're going to pick off every little piece off the bone, right? Or you would have to eat 5 eggs at a time. When I heard that, I was like, what? Am I like Rocky? Like how would I eat 5 eggs at one time? Like, I don't think I've ever done that in my whole entire life. Maybe like a big guy, maybe like my brother could do that, a big guy. And that's going to be about $1.50. Eggs are probably like your lowest cost for EAAs, but 5 eggs at a time. That's what you got to do. Like, I don't know, I can't. Or 3 cups of Greek yogurt all at once. Like that kind of like gave me a gag reflex just to think about like eating 3 cups of Greek yogurt like all at once. And that would cost you about $4. These are just averages, probably different at your own personal Walmart or whatever. Or Optavia EAAs. So this is what I use. This was the supplement that I was in that test study. And they're about 60 calories. Look how much lower the calorie count is, and about $1.80 per serving with your rewards. Okay. And that's equivalent to eating 30 grams of protein, just like that refreshing drink of EAAs that I drink after I play pickleball every single day. So when I looked all this up, it was just like mind boggling. So maybe those weren't fun facts to you, but yes, and we can count EAAs, Optavia EAAs, as part of our daily protein intake. So even though on the label, it's not going to say 30 grams of protein, if you're counting your grams of protein, you can count it like 30 grams, because that is basically what your body is creating, that muscle protein synthesis. And that's the reason you're trying to get grams of protein in anyway. Okay, so are all EAA supplements the same? Because I'm going to tell you a secret. You go on Amazon and you can type EAA supplement into the search bar, and you're going to get like 1,000 different results. All right, so it's helpful for you to know what you're looking for. The first question is, what are you getting? So Optavia lists all the essential amino acids and the amounts. So when you're having a serving of our EAAs, it is 10 grams total of EAAs. Now, I just grabbed some random, like on Amazon, if it says amino blend, I know it's a little blurry, amino blend 5 grams. What the heck is that? What are the different amounts of those? You want to guess why they didn't list it? It's because it's not formulated well. Or how about this? The Optavia EAAs have 3.5 grams of leucine. So you see it says 3,500 milligrams. Go back to 5th grade math. That's 3.5 grams of leucine. Okay, how much in this one? This is just like a random Amazon one, 1.5 grams of leucine. If you don't have at least 3 grams of leucine, your body will not create that muscle protein synthesis. If you don't have all of the essential amino acids, your body will not create muscle protein synthesis. Basically, you're just flavoring your water. So I don't know. I don't think that that's worth it. I would rather create that, what my muscles need to actually build and recover. Okay, so just a little more sciencey stuff. You guys like geek out about this because it's so fun. Okay, I said 3 grams, but it's actually 2.5. You need a minimum of 2.5 grams of leucine. This is what turns on the switch. It says, okay, there's a light switch here. I'm going to turn on the switch for this, for your body to create. And Optavia has 3.5 grams of leucine, like I said on the previous slide. But what powers the light is all 8 essential amino acids. You need 10 grams of it total. So when you add all this up, it adds up to 10 grams. And out of those 10 grams, half of that, 5 of it needs to be BCAAs, which are leucine, valine, and isoleucine in the correct ratio. So there you go. There's some sciencey fun facts for you about a good EAA. Or you can just talk to your favorite Optavia coach, because ours already has it, the right formula. It reduces your muscle soreness after exercise. I can definitely attest to that. It reduces muscle damage and accelerates recovery after exercise. It helps support that muscle metabolism during aging. That's what Corinne was talking about earlier. If you've been saying, boy, I just think my metabolism's going down. Also, it aids in the retention of your lean muscle mass. So that's important to me as I age. And I actually have both of my parents using the EAAs, and it just really helps you to protect that. All right, so I'm going to kick it back to Chantel. Looks like she is back to her computer eating her creamy ice cream.
Guys, I had to. I'm about halfway done. I told Tyler to come grab some if he wanted some. He hasn't come in yet. He usually steals some of mine. Okay. You guys, that was fun. Let's talk about the 4 components of our program. We talked a lot about different aspects of these tonight. We've talked about fueling our bodies through the habits of health, or through the fuelings and what we actually eat, right? We also have our lifestyle programs. So our lifestyle programs, talk to the person who invited you if you're interested in this. It totally depends on what your needs are, what your goals are. If you're wanting to lose weight, if you're wanting to maintain, if you're wanting to increase muscle mass, and it depends on your age, your gender, everything. There's a lot of factors, and they can tell you kind of what to recommend. Our programs are based on eating 6 small meals a day, protein carb balance, all of them are, to fuel your body correctly. But what we do is we add in more than just fueling your body. We're adding in the habits of health that make it so that you, it's a holistic approach to your health. We are talking about how to rewire your brain, because if you just change what you eat, what happens a couple years later or a couple months? Honestly, let's be honest, a couple, more like a couple months, right? The statistics on how people gain back their weight so quickly after dieting are astounding. The secret here, and I mean, I'll even reference what Corinne was saying, you know, even if it's a weight loss drug or some injectables, right? There's so many ways to lose weight quickly, but what are you doing that is sustaining that weight loss, that is actually changing your lifestyle long term? Are you rewiring your brain to be able to have lifelong success? And so that's what Optavia does, and that's what this program does, is helping you create those changes and those habits so that you do that. We also have a community of people helping, and that is all of us here. And we also have a team of doctors and nurses that can help aid in the support. And yeah, I think that's pretty much in a nutshell about why our program works.
I love that, Chantel. And, you know, one thing that I can say that I love about being a coach is getting together in community, like with all of you tonight. Like we had so much fun putting this together, you guys. And I'll tell you what, over the years that my husband Jared and I have been coaching for about 15 years now, over 15 years. And something happens when you are really thinking about these things on a daily basis, when you're getting together with other people who have similar goals in their life to remain healthy, to improve themselves, to move forward. And I just love being able to offer a program to friends and family that actually works, that I believe in, because it's worked for me. It's worked for my mom, was the person who introduced me. And I'll tell you what, it's really kept me on track for the last 15 years. And I like think, what would have happened if I hadn't found Optavia? I really believe that I would be in much worse shape and really still dealing with all of that pain. Like just learning these things, doing a few tweaks, like getting enough protein and balancing my blood sugars, how Chantel was teaching us, has really changed my life. So if you had fun with us tonight, and this seems like a community that you would love to plug into more, consider coming to our summer coach retreat. It's going to be August 30th and 31st. And here's what you can find there: fun friends, healthy food, personal and professional development, health coach training, pool party, hot tub party, pickleball, all the fun things. So consider joining our community as a coach and being part of a movement to really help people to move forward in their life and in their health. And maybe you are thinking, oh my goodness, I really wish that so-and-so would have been on tonight, would have seen this. And so share the recording. We recorded this webinar tonight. We would love to give you the link to the recording that you can share with family or friends or anybody that this could really benefit them. And our next webinar is Wednesday, July 31st at 6 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Mountain. And it's our Hope, Health, and Humor night with some of our friends, Dave Blanchard, Brian Jollinger, and Karen Buxman. And we would love for you guys to join us on July 31st as well. So any last final thoughts from Chantel or Corinne? I would love to hear it.
Nope, this has been wonderful. Thank you everyone for coming on and joining us.
This has been super fun, you guys. And in the process of learning for myself, we can turn around and teach other people, and that's just how we do it. And so it's been super fun to be able to study this out and learn more myself too.
Enjoy
Awesome.
those recipes.
I just dropped those recipes in the chat one more time. If you're listening to the playback, make sure you ask the coach for that link for the recipes. So have a great night, you guys.